Wait, I'm the head scratcher. Head scratchers are questions for Calvinism. I always scratch my head when I hear Calvinistic teachings, Reformed T.U.L.I.P teachings. I scratch my head and I can't see how much of the Bible fits with some things that the Calvinists, Reformed teach, hold to, live by. So I'm putting a plethora of questions out onto the YouTube, hoping that somebody will answer them. You can see the screen in the background. Again, I'm doing this so that you can read what I'm understanding about T.U.L.I.P. Make sure that I'm representing you correctly. If I'm not, call me on it. Send me a comment, however that works. This video will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions for Calvinists. I've got so many of them. I can't do one video at a time. I'm too busy. So here's T.U.L.I.P, unconditional, irresistible grace, perseverance. So here's the beginning of the questions. I call them head scratchers. John 10 specifically, does sheep, the word sheep, does it really mean an unconditionally chosen and elect person from before the foundation of the earth? If it does, why does it take so long for some people to hear Jesus' voice? You know, that particular chapter makes it sound like, hey, Jesus is in town, the gospel's in town, and the elect come a-running. But I have at least one friend that's a Calvinist. And I've heard his testimony, and whoa, a life of up and down, in and out of Catholic churches, almost a Catholic priest. All of a sudden, he finally realizes, oh, wait, something bad happened in his life. And he was in the shower, and of course, he was feeling bad. And all of a sudden, that's when he was saved. So, but he heard the gospel 15, 20 times before that. Anyway, then, if we are commanded to share the gospel, is there really any meaningful biblical reason to share the gospel if election is true, if it happens irresistibly? I know that's a common question, but it's here. Is Paul, who used to be Saul, the Christian torturer and killer, is he the worst Calvinist of all time, even though he wrote 13, possibly 14 books of the New Testament? I mean, why does he spend so long, especially in the book of Acts? I spent 3 months calling, persuading, and teaching the word. Remember, he was the mouthpiece to the Gentiles. In Acts 28, he spends all day trying to persuade people. Some believed, some did not. And then, that's in Acts 28, verses 24 through 31. And we know that Paul meets believers where they're at. Paul becomes those believers and hopes to win some. That's 1 Corinthians 9, somewhere between 15 and the end of the chapter. It's in 1 Corinthians 9. I can't remember the verses right now. Paul became a Greek, a Jew. Oh, it's right here. 1 Corinthians 9, 19 through 23. Here's another head scratcher. If Reformed theology is true, what do the parents do? They're absolutely convinced Calvinism is true. They buy into all 5 points of T.U.L.I.P. And, their son is 11 or 12 and starting to ask good biblical questions. And the parent has to say, look, you're probably going to hell. I mean, does a Calvinist parent ever come to grips with that? Or do they just fake like it's okay? Do they glaze over it? Do they put the dummy switch on and not think about it? Well, probably not. And the reason is because Calvinism doesn't seem true. The love that we have and the compelling feelings we have as parents, I believe, are God-given and part of what is supposed to compel us to go and share the gospel with everyone and to bring our children up Deuteronomy 6 in the way they should go. Teach them at the tables, teach them as you walk, teach them my word, put my institutes on their heart. But in Calvinism, all that stuff becomes phooey. So I'm scratching my head, asking questions to all the Calvinists. Let's see here. probably doomed. This is talking to your children. Again, scripture to support some of my questions. Do I tell them, do I actually bring my child up? This is I got from A.W. Pink, the book Sovereignty of God. Do I say, your Sunday school teacher said John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world that he gave his son, that anyone who believes in his son will not perish? Well, that's not really what it means. And it's really probably not for you. And you can go and tell Betty and John, like I told you to at recess, go and tell them about Jesus and that he loves you. But, well, it's not really true. I mean, yikes. I'm sure Calvinists are just thinking of this is how you tell your son or daughter to talk to little kids at recess. No. Why lie? You're going to make up some jungle gym circus talk that is teaching your kid to lie. That's my opinion on it. Head scratchers. Let's see. I got at least 300. So let me see what this one says. I don't even remember. I go to work. I work with 30 men and 30 women, all equally given the opportunity, especially here in America, to believe. How can a man who's born totally depraved humble himself before friends, coworkers, husbands, families? Sorry, I was on the wrong wavelength. Here's the head scratcher here. How can even President Trump seem to sort of humble himself occasionally? Now, that's not a good example. But if he can do it, how come other people that are actually humble do it? How can they humble themselves? How can I get mad at my wife and say, I had no reason to be mad. I should have taken a few deep breaths. I should have prayed. I should have thought before I spoke. How come all humans do that? I know my children, when they came home from second grade, they would tell me stories about how this happened at school or that happened in school. And man, did I take advantage of those opportunities to say, you see what they did there? A 7-year-old or 8-year-old or whatever actually said sorry because they knew when they bopped Betty in the nose that it was wrong, even if it was accidental. How can a little kid figure out that that's, whoa, I just hurt someone else and I feel bad about it? And well, that makes Calvinism crazy. I got one more. This video is too long, but I remember teaching Sunday school, and I took a survey, and I asked about Santa Claus. Yep, I asked about Santa Claus at Sunday school. Then I turned it biblical. But anyway, you know how much even little church kids knew about Santa Claus and believed in Santa Claus? They taught me things about Santa Claus that you would knock your socks off. He's 400 years old, and he has to actually mechanically fix some of the reindeer. It was unbelievable what they believe. That's the point, though. These are 7-year-old kids that don't know why I'm asking about Santa Claus. They just get excited about the presents and what they know, what they believe, what they go to sleep every night thinking is true. If 7-year-olds can believe in Santa Claus, know facts about him, regurgitate them, and tell people all about it, then don't tell me they can't believe in Jesus fully, wholly, totally, exactly as God designed. Again, that was off the topic, but you can read that one. I'll put this paragraph on here. It's just so you can read it if you want to. I don't even remember what it says. So that's the end of 4, 5, 6, 7 questions or head scratchers for the Calvinist tulip people. Sorry for the long video.